Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video. This is actually an idea I kind of had from a few of my friends on Twitter. I'm gonna link them down below. I'm gonna try and say their names, but I will butcher them, so bear that in mind, guys. But follow them on Twitter if you have Twitter, and that is at InfinityGame16 and at Henrique Elgato. I think that's how you say your name. I do apologise if I'm butchering that. But check them out on Twitter, guys. PlayStation dudes. They're really, really, if you want the latest PlayStation news, they'll always retweet it or they'll mention you. Top guys, so check them out, you know what I mean? And this is where I got the idea from. So basically what we were talking about was, our excitement, our personal excitement for, Uncharted 4, and now it's going to be a big game. Yeah, can't wait for it. It really is a game. I cannot wait to see the end of the story, the end of the four-part, story. Obviously not including Golden Abyss. I can't wait to see what happens. The screenshots I've seen, I don't want to, I am a fanboy or whatever, but technically I have never seen something as impressive as I saw with the gameplay. When Nate was being dragged around by that truck, through the mud. I've never seen something technically look better than that on a games console. PC, well, you got 4K, you got all that sort of stuff. So yeah, possibly, but on a console, I've never seen something as impressive as that. And then you got the story trailer, which was mind blowing to me. I don't know about you guys, but I was just blown away. I was like, how the hell are Naughty Dog doing this on a PS4? Do you know what I mean? This should be being done on a PC, in my opinion. Not that I'd want it. I don't have a PC, but what I'm saying is the graphics are so good. You could be confused with a PC. Do you know what I'm saying? And then, but the most important thing, my opinion. Now you may disagree. Not that I'll jump to it straight away. It's not even the thing I'm most excited about. But it's the most important, I feel, for the PlayStation to develop and move forward, and that is the online. Now, I played the beta, loved the beta. It was a great online experience for me. I played hours upon hours on that. Yeah, and it's great, and I can't wait for it to come back. But why it's so important for me, and why and we're going to get into why 2016 in general is in a very important year for PlayStation. But for me, it is the case of we have a lot of great, story-driven games on the PlayStation. But I guess I guess you could count Street Fighter and Drive Club, but I just think in general we haven't had too many of those strong online first party games. I don't think we've had too many of them, and I think that's why Uncharted 4 is so important, because it has got that competitive online based thing about it. It has got the online based competitive scene, and that's awesome that we're going to have competitive gamers, maybe moving more over to the PS4. They may not play through any of the Uncharted series or any of the stories in Uncharted, but they're going to play through that online because they can be competitive, it's fun, and that's going to be important for the PlayStation to have that big flagship online based game. The next thing I wanted to talk about was Ratchet and Clank, which comes out a week before the game comes out in the UK and Europe, but it actually comes out a couple of 2 weeks before, which I'm a bit salty about, but I'll just have to get over it. And that is the game obviously comes out then, and then you got the movie coming out about 3 days after Uncharted comes out. I can't wait for that movie. And I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But I'm going to talk about that genre of gaming. Now, I don't know the technical genre. You could say it's a, I don't know, platforming game, I guess. But I don't mean that. I mean more the art style, the way it's presented, the humour, all that sort of stuff, Nintendo is not, let's be honest here, the most successful company when it comes to, the Wii U. Its hardware sales have been on the decline for years. But what we cannot deny is that those games sell well. I believe there is definitely a market for those sort of younger audience games. Now, don't sit here and think that's me disrespecting those games or those genres. That's not the case at all, because for me, they're one of my favourite genres. You know, I'd love to see a Sly Cooper come back. It probably won't, because they've said Sucker Punch that they're working on a different game. I'd love to see Jak and Daxter come back. I'm very confident Crash is coming back. I think Ratchet and Clank will be the start. I think it's very important for PlayStation, you know, to get those type of games again. You know, being at a lower price with the movie. I don't think day one it's going to sell megatons, but it could, but I'm not too sure. But it's one of those games, 2-3 weeks down the line, when the kids start watching it at the cinema and they start hounding their parents, I need to play this game, I need a PS4. That's how it's important. It's going to be a slow burner, but overall sell quite well, I think, anyway, Ratchet and Clank. And the movie looks great. The game looks as good as the movie, which you rarely ever hear. So that's a genre I think they're looking at a bit more. You know, people don't like the game. I like the game, but a lot of people didn't like Knack. But to me, it's showing that PlayStation are slowly moving back into what made, I feel, the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2 so great, was those type of games, the Jak and Daxters, the Ratchet and Clanks, you know, the Spyros. Those sort of games, to me, made those platforms great. So I'm excited to see them sort of games coming back. But then you look at, you know, later in the year, we're going to have Gran Turismo Sport. Now, I'm in the impressions, for me, exclusives are very important, okay? Don't think I'm demeaning exclusives at all, but I don't think they're as important as, you know, a lot of people think, you know. They're going to sell well. There's going to be a hell of a lot of Uncharted 4 sold, but I feel like it's the hardcore audience who are buying that, or a little bit more hardcore into their, you know, probably from the PS3 moving over to the PS4, you know, doing that, because there's a ton of people who still play Uncharted 2 online. For me, Gran Turismo is one of those special games, those special exclusives that really sells. It sells well, do you know what I mean? Gran Turismo 6 came out just as the PS4 came out. A lot of people didn't buy that game because they traded in their PS3 and wanted to wait for it to come to the PS4, and it never did. So this is going to be the first next generation Gran Turismo game. Now, the Gran Turismo on the PlayStation 3 sold around about 5 to 6 million copies. So, and that's with probably one of the lowest selling Gran Turismo, sold about 6 million copies. With like a 40 million, by that time, who knows, nearer to 50 million install base, that could be the highest selling PlayStation 4 game. So that's going to be important for Gran Turismo to come out. It is one of those, what you call it, like an anomaly. It is a very rare game. You know, Halo is a big game or whatever, whether you like it or not. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's a big game, but it's not on the same level as Gran Turismo. Uncharted's a big game. I can't wait for it. It's not on Gran Turismo's level. Gran Turismo is a system seller. I think GTA, whoever has the marketing deal, that sells consoles. Call of Duty shows. PS4 got marketing deal. They've nearly doubled the sales on the PS4 compared to the Xbox One. Star Wars Battlefront sold 1 million of the Darth Vader PS4s alone. So, you know what I mean? Those are system sellers. Gran Turismo is in that very unique list of high-end, like, big games that will sell millions of consoles. It is one of them games. It's one of those rare games. So I'm excited to see that back. That's a big game to have on your system. And I'm not just saying that, you know, I like Drive Club, but it's not on the same level as Gran Turismo. Then we got to talk about PlayStation VR. Now, some people say it's a gimmick. I can't say definitely it's not a gimmick. Definitely PlayStation are going to support it. I can't see in the future. I don't have a crystal ball or anything. But what I do have is the interviews we've seen. the hype, the hype from the fans. We're not talking just regular Joes on the. We're talking the fans are behind this. Everyone who's used it is excited for it. So I think that gives it a bit of a push in the right direction. That it has a fan base behind it already that are going to support it. I'm going to be one of those guys, and I know a lot of people as well. It's a lot more hype than the Move or the Vita. I guess probably just behind, probably a lot behind the PS4, but it's that similar range. I feel like PlayStation definitely going to support it a lot more than a lot of the stuff that they've kind of let die over the years. So that's something I'm really excited about. Then we've got Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm very excited about that game because look at the popularity, particularly nowadays, of open world RPGs. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Witcher 3. Now, The Witcher 3 sold incredibly well. I don't care what anyone says, and you can disagree with me all you want, but I genuinely believe this. No one really cared about The Witcher. It comes out on this system, and there's a big push of these open world RPG games, and then suddenly people started loving The Witcher. That's awesome to see that these games are starting to be pushed more. Fallout 4, even I guess to a lesser extent, it's not an RPG, but it's an open world game like Infamous Second Son. We're definitely seeing a lot more of these games, and they're being very successful. So for me, I'm very excited to see Horizon Zero Dawn. The way people in the industry talk about it, they talk about it like it's going to be this big Skyrim-esque game. Now, they've already said it's not going to be the biggest open world, but everything in that open world is explorable. Now, the only other game that I know that does that is Fallout 4. Now, look at Fallout 4's graphics compared to Horizon Zero Dawn's graphics. There is a big gulfing class. Horizon's got that on lock. So for me, yeah, definitely, it's going to be a very important game with gamers moving more towards these open world RPGs. That's a big get for them, as well as that new game Wild. We don't know if that's coming out 2016, but if it is, that's going to be an amazing game to play as well. Then we've got I'm still going on. Then we've got E3. Which some of these games are going to come out after E3, but this is a big thing for E3 because we're finally going to get Sony Ben's open world horror game. Now I think it's going to come out 2016, so it's going to be announced June and it's going to come out October or November. That's my belief. They'll release it maybe the month after Call of Duty. Well, that would put it in December. Who knows? It's going to be around about that time. I think it's going to sell very well because it's based on. It has themes from The Last of Us, but in an open world sense. That's going to be an incredible game, and the first real AAA game, if we don't count Golden Abyss, first AAA game really from Bend. Can't wait for that game. Really cannot wait for that game. Then we're going to have Sucker Punch game announced at E3. That's going to be a big thing. We're expecting, hoping, fingers crossed, Crash Bandicoots at E3. Rumours are Naughty Dog are going to be there and announce The Last of Us for a 2017 release. So really, I think this will be the defining year of PlayStation 4. It's finally going to have those. I think it's had some great games. For me, Bloodborne Game of the Year. If I had even, I don't because I get all my third-party games on it. But if I even thought for a second about should I have got this PS4, my whatever amount, I can't even remember how much I spent on it. My purchase of this PS4 was 100% justified as soon as Bloodborne came out because it was that good of a game. And obviously Drive Club's very good as well. I like that. Infamous, all these games. But I think with Gran Turismo, Ratchet and Clank, and Uncharted coming out in 1 year, as well as a new peripheral, a new way to play, as it were. a Gran Turismo game, as I say, E3 with all these new reveals, um, lesser known games, I guess, like Nier or Automata, that game, a lot of Japanese inspired games such as um, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and Persona 5. This is going to be an incredible year for PlayStation 4, and I just can't wait to get my hands on some of these games. It really starts in April and then goes throughout the whole year, just games after games after games, and I can't wait to play these games and have a great time. But that's this video for you guys. You know me, I ramble on a little bit, but do you agree with me? Do you think 2016 is the defining year of the PlayStation? Similarly, how the PS3 was defined the year of um, Nathan Uncharted 1 coming out, defined the PlayStation 3. It started improving in sales. It started improving, the amount of AAAs it started putting out. Do you agree with me on that, guys? Let me know down below. But if you got any ideas, obviously let me know. Message me on PlayStation. Message me on Twitter. I will literally, most videos you ask me to do, I'll make for you guys. But until next time, I'll catch you guys in a new video very soon.